Emergency! Emergency! I did not notice the notifications and my dupes are dying over here. And now let's just take a look at the really... Holy Jesus, this thing! Okay, my friends, so some of the steam turbines are starting to... Oh no! What the hell is going on? Here we go. Rad bolts being launched, and... Hello there, I'm the base manager and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Even Bubbles likes this intro, oh nice. Today my friends, today we are going to continue the build on this planet over here. Hopefully this is going to be the episode that this gold volcano go dormant on us, so that we can close this off. That would be pretty nice. We should also continue grabbing ourselves as much uranium as we possibly can. We need it in order to kickstart our nuclear reactor. We only have a little bit of that stuff back at home, but if we keep on mining, we should have more. Let's go over here. Here it is, our nuclear reactor. It's already built and ready to go, missing just a few things here and there. One of those things is a bunch of uranium. I believe we have like 200 kilograms of that stuff over here, if at all. Let's take a look. Uranium ore. Excuse me? I don't believe you. I believe you are lying to me, game, because... What? Okay, well, the dupes made... They did something to my uranium, I don't know what, but something happened, because when I closed the last episode I had like 200 kilograms of that stuff, and now I don't have any. I don't know. I don't know. But in any case, at least I should have some over here, right? Ha! It appeared! It appeared! Out of nowhere. Probably a dupe had the uranium on end, and so that's why it's over here. Now, the strangest thing, oh my god, today is not a day, my friends. The strangest thing, however, is I recalled I brought 700 kilograms of uranium, and those 700 kilograms are nowhere to be found, and that's interesting. But well, it's just Oni being Oni, I suppose. Oh, here it is. The uranium was on the line. I like, for a moment I thought I had seen the entire line and I didn't... I don't know. In any case, the uranium has shown itself up, and that's good. That's good. I can't believe it, my friends. Okay, everybody, stop. Stop. Emergency work now. Okay, we have to open this up, because this volcano is not going to stay dormant forever. It's been dormant for like... I don't know, probably since the beginning of the last episode, so it should be going off anytime soon. Let's open them up, close this thing off, and pray that everything goes according to plan. The plan being, this thing goes off first, transforms this water into steam. The steam will make sure that everything is within temperature. Everything in here is made out of steel, except for this. Do you have a... Okay, this thing doesn't have a overheat temperature, does it? No, it does not, so that's fine. Steel. Fine, fantastic. Alright, my dupes, let's time 3 this thing and just get all of these uncovered, please. Alright, my friends, the chamber is now sealed, which means our fate is also sealed. If this thing doesn't work, it's going to be a mess to clean it up. That much I can tell you. But I'm pretty confident it is going to work as intended. We just need to wait a little bit longer now, until this volcano goes off on us. It should not take long. Famous last words. That's precisely what I said last episode, but oh well. Once this thing goes... Come on, please. Thank you. Once this thing goes off, we are going to put this water into the cooling loop so that we can run the aqua tuner. But we can only do that once we have some steam inside of the chamber, otherwise the aqua tuner is going to go crazy with its temperature. It needs something to put its temperature into, right? That something is going to be the steel, and let me tell you, this water is not going to be turned into steel in just one eruption or two. It's going to require a few, so once this thing goes off, I really need to be very careful and pretty much just focus on this, because everything must be kicked off at the right moment. Well, my friends, we are so close, I can feel it. So I think it's a good idea to start initializing a few of the systems in the nuclear reactor, such as the cooling loop. I'm going to start inputting the supercoolant into the system, something that is going to take a little bit of time, so it's good to start it right about now. Also, I believe this rocket has been resupplied. Oh, Turner. For real, but okay, that's fine. Suppose we can wait a few more cycles. There we go, see? I just wanted someone to repair the Atmosuit dock now, so that I can see if this position now it's going to work a little bit better or not. Hopefully it will. In any case, once again, like I said, I believe this rocket has been resupplied and is almost ready to go. Do we have the oxalite? Yes, we do. We have the fuel. Everything is empty, which is just fantastic. And I kind of want to send it this way because we already have 7 tons of uranium ready and waiting for us. So, yeah. I think I'm going to give it the rest. Okay, I'm going to give it the rest of the cycle, and if no dupe shows up to repair this thing, I'm just going to launch the rocket anyway. Well, my friends, no one showed up, so I think I'm just going to launch the rocket anyway. That's fine, that's fine. Destination is already been set, platform already been selected, so let's begin the launch sequence, and let's go grab that uranium. Okay, so now we have a little bit of supercoolant in the system. Let's set up the temperature, shall we? Kinda want this temperature to be... Oh, yeah, no power. Okay, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. That's fine. It's fine. I just need to activate this building over here and connect that. Cancel that. And like I said, I kind of want to set the temperature, let's say, 20 degrees. 20, that's a good temperature. It can maybe a little bit more because it will drop below this this temperature by 14 degrees. So yeah, 25. It's a good enough temperature. Alright, so our rocket is finally here. Let's just clean the line of whatever it was over there and let's start transporting all of this uranium. Alright, my friends, the first system is set. The cooling loop is now filled up with a little bit extra supercoolant inside of the reservoir, just to keep a small buffer. We don't want to have a big buffer because this fluid is actually quite expensive, so we might just want to be, you know, as cheap as possible. We don't want to waste this stuff. No. Let's deconstruct all of this. We are not going to need it anymore. Now, next system that we could put in place is the suit system. Very important. Once this thing starts running, we definitely want any dupe inside of the reactor to be protected. So, given that everything is already ready, we can now build these two things. Alright, so our suit system is now built. Our dupes can now equip the lead suits for their own protection, and should any of these suits turn into a worn Atmosuit, there is a few over here in backup, and this thing, the autosweeper, will deliver them automatically to the dock so that the dupe doesn't get trapped in here. Just to, like, one less way for the dupes to get trapped. They will eventually find another way, but still. Alright, my friends, so one of the final things that we need to do, to be honest, there is 2 things left for this thing to be operational. Uranium and water. Uranium, it's on its way, so let's take care of the water, shall we? We have this line ready to go, but still I need to bring it from here all the way into the reactor. We need to create a pool of water over here, so that the pump is protected against the very first few drops from the reactor. Otherwise it's just going to explode. Well, not explode, but gets broken down immediately, because this thing outputs water and waste at 500 degrees. That's a little bit too much. We want to control that, and in order to do that we oh, where am I gonna bring this line from? Okay, so this line is quasi-temporary, right? We are going to need it to drop a little bit of water over here. and to put some water into the reactor. Now, while the reactor doesn't stabilize, meaning the steam turbines don't go operational at full capacity, we will have to input water from the outside into the reactor, otherwise we are not going to be producing enough water to keep it fed and it's going to explode. Literally explode, and we want to avoid that. This line, once it becomes obsolete, we are going to deconstruct it, get rid of it, and yeah. But for now, we really need to have it over here, otherwise, yeah, like I said, the reactor is going to go boom. Well, my friends, after hundreds of cycles, this system showed absolutely no issue whatsoever. On the other hand, this one constantly plagued with issues. Doesn't matter where I put this thing, it always captures a little bit of carbon dioxide. I'm going insane with this one, but oh well. In any case, my friends, in any case, it's just to prevent Turner from leaving the rocket, you know. This storage is almost full, and this time we are going to bring a very valuable delivery to our colony. We are not only transporting 7 tons of uranium ore, we also have 10 tons of wolframite, and if you don't know why this is important, it's because wolframite turns into tungsten, and tungsten is one of the best materials that you can have when you are dealing with extremely high temperatures and you don't want something to melt, like a metal tile, for example. So yeah, tungsten, very... Oh, we're full. We are full. And we have some uranium on this. That's not good, because the exhaust might melt it, and that would be just terrible. But in any case, oh well, it is what it is. Hopefully one dupe will fix the platform, otherwise the Turner won't be able to leave the rocket, nor will any dupe be able to resupply it. Oh well, I'll deal with that in just a little while. Let's just launch the rocket for now and get all of that uranium into our reactor over here. Speaking about reactor, is the line done? The line is done. Let's put some water inside of the reactor now. When I mean reactor, I mean the building, not the research reactor itself. Let's put, like, I don't know, maybe 200 to 500 kilograms of water in here, and then we can cut the line and redirect it towards the research reactor. What? How? No! Oh no, this is terrible, my friend. Someone uprooted the buddy butt thingy that we had over here. Oh, I just remembered I was like going to build a window tile so that we could preserve it forever, but no, some dope had to... who was it? Who is to blame for this crime against humanity? Alright, so the stuff is here. We will start to offload and Turner, how the hell did you leave the module? Oh, I didn't know you could still use it. Maybe it just doesn't load the oxygen and recharge the suit. That's fine. I mean, you'll have to sleep somewhere else. But okay. Let's try to repair this thing ASAP, please. Alright, my friends, so our time over here is almost up, and because I kinda want to kickstart the nuclear reactor, I'm going to need to focus a little bit on this. I don't want to be super distracted. I think I'm going to send the dupes back so that we can resupply that rocket in order to have it ready, so that once this aluminum volcano goes off, we can have the crew ready to come over here to finish this off. I think I shouldn't be activating two complex systems at once, but oh well. Oh well, what could go wrong, right? What could go wrong, indeed. So with that in mind, let's call in the crew, let's send them back into the planet over here, resupply this rocket, and then kickstart the nuclear reactor. And on this hand, I'm pretty sure this is resupplied. Yes, it is. The rocket is ready to go, so I'm going to send this rocket back into the other planet so that we have, you know, some items being inputted into the cargo bay. It takes a little while to fill up the containers in this rocket, so yeah, let's send this rocket over into the other planet as well. We don't need to pay too much attention to that thing, so that's fine. We already have the uranium over here, which means that we can kickstart this thing whenever we feel like it. Okay, all the lines are cut. Are you absolutely certain about that? Yes. Okay, let's start by activating all of these buildings. We can press enter to get this done faster. And yeah. Alright, so this is the cycle that we get this thing rolling. Okay, so let's start by connecting all the things, and this thing doesn't need to be over there. We can deconstruct that. In fact, we can deconstruct this as well, and probably this, but we can wait for that. Let's focus on this. So, connect all the lines. All the power lines must be connected. That includes this one. Okay, so all the lines are connected, I think. Now, we don't want the rad bolts to activate just yet. These are going to be consuming a lot of power, so we want the reactor to be online until before we activate this thing. We don't want to be draining the our main power line. Now, the way this is going to work is the last rad bolt chamber to be filled up, because they all should be filling up in this order, right? The rad bolt comes over here, gets absorbed by this one. Once this is full, moves to this one, then to this one, blah 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 blah. Goes all the way to this one, being that this one is the last one in the chain. And once this one is full, it will emit a green signal, which the NOT gate is going to convert into a red signal, which is going to deactivate this thing, so that we are not wasting power needlessly. However, just for now, we are going to cut the line, turning that signal into a red signal, and deactivating these things permanently. Alright, so everything is powered up. Yes, it is. Cool. Alright, so that means that we can start the uranium production. Let me just double check that everything is connected properly. Yep, so we have a line for the waste depleted uranium. You can use it as a refined material, but it melts at such a low temperature, it's not even worth it. Just, in my opinion, of course, just get rid of it. It's like an headache waiting to happen. So we are going to put the depleted uranium into this retention chamber. This automation is going to make sure that this thing will take care of the wastage once it reaches this point. Yep. Yep, okay. Okay, so, and it's going to send it over here. Now we have these two liquid vents exposed to a space exposure tile, which means anything that they input, or in this case output in here, gets immediately destroyed. That's how we are going to deal with our waste. The same is going to happen over here. We are going to have... Okay, just missing that. We are going to have our pump over here, taking care of cycling the nuclear waste. Oh, and now that I think about it, I don't want the pump working just yet. Go over here, let me cut it off. Yep, the pump... Oh, I already had this thing going. Past me thought about everything. Thank you, past me. We don't want the pump working just yet, but in any case, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. The nuclear waste is going to be precisely the same. We have this thing over here. It controls the liquid shut-off. Right now it should be receiving a red signal. Yes, it is, which means that the fluid, once it gets absorbed by the liquid pump, it's going to go over here. It's not going to be able to pass through, so it's going to go over here and get dumped into this side of the chamber, which is going to pretty much make sure that the temperature is somewhat even across the entire chamber. Right, however, once it reaches a certain point, we want to get rid of it so that we don't flood the nuclear reactor with waste. And that's why this thing is over here, right? It's going to receive a green signal from the automation, and it's going to send it over there into space to get eliminated. Now, we don't want the pump working just yet. The reason for that is this water is going to get pretty hot, and we don't want this water to be transported over here. We want it to stay over here, and we want to have a minimum amount of nuclear waste in here before we turn on the liquid pump. The reason for that is because the water is going to be outputted by the steam turbines over into these two liquid vents. These two liquid vents are strategically positioned so that the water, as it's dropped down back into the reactor chamber, pulls off the auto sweeper, the liquid shut off, and the liquid pump. All these three things. I don't think these things overheat. No, that's why it's made out of iron. However, all the other things will overheat, and that's why they are in the path of the liquid vents. And so we want to have a little bit of nuclear waste over here, otherwise that water is going to heat up and convert into steam in the pipes, breaking the pipes, and that would be bad. If we have a little bit of waste, the water will touch the waste and immediately convert into steam, not having an opportunity to be, of being absorbed by the liquid pump. Okay, so now that we have pretty much everything set up, the cooling loop is done, all the pipage is built. This pipe is only going to be built as the final piece. Once we are ready to kickstart, this is pretty much what is going to kickstart everything. Once we build that, so that's why it's not yet built. But the tile over there, as you can see, there is an insulated pipe ready to be received. So first things first, time to go crazy for nuclear enriched uranium, right? Now this process is very inefficient, but oh well, I just find the simplicity of it appealing because I can just put it in here and not think too much about it. An auto sweeper can take care of that, and oh well, I'm pretty sure that we will have enough uranium to go around. So let's start enriching some uranium. This enriched uranium, let me just do this. Don't want any dupe to transport uranium inside of the reactor. They would do that. No, we want the entire process to be automatic. So refined metals, I'm pretty sure. Nope. Manufactured materials. So let's select the enriched uranium. The enriched uranium is going to be sent in this line. We are going to wait a little bit. We want to have a sufficient amount of fuel in storage before we kickstart this thing. But as you can see, it is received and then it is deposited inside of the reactor. Emergency! Emergency! I did not notice the notifications and my dupes are dying over here because there is, like, no oxygen. Ooh, that's terrible. I run out of polluted dirt. Who thought about that? Oh my lord. You guys, ooh. Okay, so we have several problems over here that we need to solve. For some reason, this thing fell off, which probably just vented the entire atmosphere that we had in here, which was not a lot to start with. I'm going to pop open this oxygen bottle with a little bit of oxygen in there, just to give them something, close that off, and we are going to use an algae thingy to defuse. Jesus, this is absolutely terrible. Yeah, let's try to go for this one. Is this line capable of receiving it? Yes, it is. Like, everything is like top priority right now. This needs to be thingy to be mined out, and over here we are going to request, where is the thingy? We are going to request algae. Hopefully we'll be able to save those two dupes. Please game, allow me to save them. Okay, so now we have another problem, which is handling the temperatures that we are getting in here. Some of our thingies are just getting destroyed. But oh well, at least the problem has been averted. There is now a little bit of oxygen going around the place. Okay, my friends, here we go. Connect that, cancel that. And the water should get inputted into the reactor. The reactor is filling up. Cool. Here we go. So now, like I said, we will have to provide the water for this thing while it's going off. And now let's just take a look at the really... Holy Jesus, this thing! This thing is so powerful! Even with this, like, it makes nothing. I mean, it's not nothing, but still, the dupes are going to be in significant hazard territory. We have plenty of layers of insulation around this place, except for in here. I kind of wanted to build more insulation, but I don't have the room, so we pretty much never have dupes in here anyway, so, and if we do, it's just a little bit. This side we really don't care too much, and over here, the exchange room, it's barely safe. The dupes are not going to stay in here much time, so yeah, okay. Cool, so now we have to wait very patiently for this water over here to turn into steam. As we can see, that thing is dropping really scalding water, but it's just a little bit. Oh boy, here we go, my friends, here we go, steam being formed, but it's going to condensate because everything in here is at a very low temperature, so everything must go into steam temperature territory. Hopefully this thing doesn't get broken. Alright, my friends, so while this thing is going, I'm going to send this rocket into the other planet, so that the dupes can start working on getting us some more uranium. We are going through this thing like crazy. I didn't remember getting the research reactor so filled up with uranium, but oh well. I thought it could only contain like 60 kilos or something like that, but oh well. That's fine. That's fine. There's no absolute no problem. If we can put more stuff in there, the better. It's storage for us, and there we go. We are going to start getting a little bit of steam being formed all over the place, but it's going to take a little bit of time until the chamber is completely normalized. Within this time is when the stuff can get broken down, because it's not going to be cooled off by the water from the steam turbines. But that's fine. But for now, dupes have no access inside of the reactor because, yeah. Yeah, the rad counter is going absolutely insane in here. I completely forgot that pneumatic doors had overheat temperature, because of course they do. Makes total sense, but okay. In any case, the temperature is starting to increase, which is nice. How about we start collecting ourselves a few rad bolts, so that we can test the storage system. I want all of them to absorb a maximum amount of rad bolts. Goes for you and for all of you. Okay, so the rocket is here. Let's deploy another rover. Let's add to the collection. I already deconstructed a few of them, the first ones, but oh well, that's fine, that's fine. Let's drop another rover over here and land the rocket right here, please. There we go, so let's continue with the mining operations over here to collect a few more pieces of uranium so that we can have, you know, more fuel for our reactor. And once again, let's keep an eye on these volcanoes. They are still dormant. This one is taking its sweet time, but hopefully it won't take too much longer. Okay, my friends, so some of the steam turbines are starting to... Oh no! What the hell is going on? Yeah, like, no, not right now, not right now, okay? I'm glad I noticed that in time, because that could probably be catastrophic. Oh well, here I... Oh boy, I almost destroyed my own creation. Yeah, but the steam turbines are starting to go off now, which means that they are going to start supplying some of the water themselves. That was a close call. Alright, so the storage is starting to fill up. Each rad bolt just fills them up to half, which is pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, the pressure within the chamber is a tad bit too high, which was to be expected. It's very difficult to calculate the proper amount of water, but in here we can see the system working, because the line going towards the reactor is already full. The excess water gets sent into either the chamber, but because the chamber is at max temperature, the vents are closed, which means this water is now vented outside of the reactor, and eventually we are going to vent enough water that the pressure is going to stabilize, and we are never going to have to worry about it again. And once that time comes, we can deconstruct this thing, and yeah, and we won't have to worry about monitoring the reactor ever again. Alright, so here comes the damage that I spoke previous. As we can see, we are taking a little bit of damage to this liquid pump. Once again, that was to be expected and is going to happen until we stabilize the pressure within the chamber. Luckily for us, the pressure did not rise too much, so we don't have to vent a lot of water into the outside, but it still is going to take a little while. The maximum this thing can go is 20 kilograms, so this is the pressure that must be achieved. But as you can see, in just a little while, that pressure is going to be achieved, which means we are going to start venting some water over here, chilling this liquid pump out. Maybe we might even be able to save it. It might not get completely broken, so yeah, let's just wait a little bit longer. Also, these two steam turbines are still not going because the temperature over here is not that high, but the temperature over here is not that high because we don't have the nuclear waste over there. So once we kickstart this thingy off, we will be able to get these steam turbines going at the same efficiency as these ones, but still, like I said, we need to wait until we have a nice pool of waste. Otherwise, we are just going to pump all of it over here. It's not going to have any waste over here to receive the water, and then we are going to pump the water and break the pipes. Oh, and look at that. Pressure has been achieved, my friends, which means we should now start putting some water in here. And as you can see, the temperature is dropping, which is nice. That's what we want. Eventually, that temperature is going to be low enough that we no longer take any damage. Okay, so now that we have a bunch of red bolts available to us, how about we test this system out? First, I kind of want to see if we lose too many red bolts going from here to here, for example. This one has 900 and a billion, so let's go like this, 100 at a time. Let's activate this. Red bolt goes there. Stop. Goes through here, turns back around, gets over there, and then finally absorbed by... We emitted how many? We emitted 300 and we got... Oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. By the way, how much red bolts do we... Oh, whoa! Okay, 1,000 red bolts, I forgot how expensive that thing is. Which means that one load of refined carbon is one battery, or in this case one red bolt chamber of charge just to make one batch of diamond. Okay, these things are expensive. Go! Offload all your red bolts into one, and after this one is empty, I'm going to empty this one out. Oh well, so after emptying out a bunch of chambers into this thing, we now have the capability of making diamond. Finally, all of this, like, just think about this for a moment. 3 or 4 episodes of extremely difficult effort just to get the ability of making freaking diamonds, my friends. Oh boy, wow, finally, I can't believe I finally am going to get to do this. Which means that soon we are going to have all the diamond in the world to start sending this thing on space missions to mine us some more useful materials, like, for example, more uranium. Well, my friends, the very first bit of diamond produced in these facilities, isn't this beautiful? For now we are just going to output the diamond out of here so that there is one less journey for the dupes to take. This way the diamond is already outside and the dupes may... it's a lot easier for them to get it so that they can transport it towards the rockets. Pretty cool, and we are like getting so many red balls. Jesus, it's... Yeah, these things, they don't store a lot of red bolts, shall we say? Yeah, as you can see, like, just a burst of red bolts is enough to fill them up. Soon they are going to be filled. I think we are going to be producing red bolts faster than we can produce diamond. And would you look at that, all the reactors are working at 100% efficiency, which is just fantastic, and the supercoolant is not getting that hot yet, which is just great. That's why this thing is not running. It has its separate chamber over there, and yeah, that means that now all the turbines are making 1.2 kilowatts of power, which is more than enough to sustain... maybe I shouldn't say more than enough. Oh, they don't... Oh, okay. One thing, I completely forgot about this. Let me just go like this. Because it's just to avoid having the mechatronics do the turn-up while these things are not active. In any case, they should start producing a maximum amount of power, which means this thing is almost self-sufficient. It is self-sufficient in this part when it comes to red bolt generation, but I did not take into consideration the storage for it, because it also consumes a little bit of power, so... Yeah, I definitely need a way to automate the red bolt delivery system over here, because pressing these... I mean, it's just pressing a few buttons, but still, if we can automate this, why not? Yeah, I will have to think about this a little bit, but I already have a few ideas on how I think I want to do this. Alright, my friends, so I think I figured out the automation. It looks a little bit confusing, but it's not. So, we know this one gets resupplied first than this one, so this one is going to be the one that gives the signal that needs to that the diamond chamber needs to be resupplied. the signal goes through a NOT gate because this sends a green signal when the storage is full, which means that we want this green signal to be turned into a red signal, and the red signal that it sends when there is a few red bolts missing to be turned into a green signal, right? It goes into a memory toggle. The memory toggle gets activated by this thing and then gets deactivated by a red bolt sensor that is going to read if there is a red bolt colliding over here, right? If there is a red bolt over here, that means that there is no space inside of that system. Let's go back over here. Right, so that activates an AND gate. The other side of the AND gate is a cycle sensor, which means that the red bolt delivery should only be made at night when we know for certain that there is no dupes inside of the reactor. That is just to avoid any accidental collisions with our dupes as they are going down. You know, red bolts might collide with them and hurt them, even incapacitate them. So we don't want that. This is why we have it over there. So let's go back. Yeah, that's what I meant. And this is going to activate these 4 red bolt chambers over here. So if we... maybe we should do 5 instead. Yeah, let's do 5. Because, you know, it takes 2000 red bolts to fill up 1 diamond presser, so 2 of them equals 4000, but I'm going to give it another one, just so, you know, because there is red bolts that are lost in transit, and so that way we are going to prevent all of those tiny little losses that occur in travel, and we are going to have enough red bolts to fill up everything. However, this one, instead of outputting 100 red bolts, it's only going to output 50 red bolts. Yeah. Cool, and then I just need to activate this by hand to kickstart the red bolt collection process again. Well, my friends, the FedEx Express must go. I think it's the 3rd journey of this episode, and we are only on cycle 20, so yeah, we are actually making pretty good use of this rocket. We still have a bunch of resources to transport from this planet, and now that we have our dupes over here working for us, yeah, they are actually doing a pretty good job. I'm insulating the betas in so that they don't consume the uranium ore and find themselves a way outside of their little space over here. So yeah, and then I can get all of this as well. Cool. Like, for a moment I noticed, like, I still had 2 rovers, right? And I thought to myself, huh, the rover from the previous mission really is not using that much power. Yeah. What game? I mean, I'm being benefited by it, but still, this is kind of a weird bug. And by the way, I think I know what initiated it. This rover is still active, okay? We are going to make this experiment to see if this is what initiates the bug. So, because I was giving a bunch of, like, mop orders, right? Like this, one of them caught the rover, and, you know, I noticed that the previous rover had this signal on it for a very long time. I just, you know, because I was getting annoyed, I cancelled it, and I didn't notice that the rover was actually in shutdown mode. So let's just do this an experiment to see if this rover gets the same treatment. But well, my friend, I'm getting myself distracted here. There is plenty of missions that need to be done. Do we have... like, I'm losing track of the amount of Rocketeer dupes that we have. Okay, we have Ascan. Ascan, do you have skill points that allow you to use the telescope? Yes, you do. Pretty cool, and you even have 2 additional points, so bam, bam, bam. Let's give you your proper hat. You are hereby a proper Rocketeer. So let's send more exploratory missions into the stars. There is plenty that needs to be done, so I think this rocket has been resupplied for a very long time. Oh, but do you have oxalite inside? Yes, you have. You have fuel. Let's call in Ascan and send them on another exploratory mission. Let's go towards this corner over here. We cannot let go of our exploratory duties, my friends, especially now that we have the diamond available to us. We already manufactured 700 kilograms of that stuff. Beautiful. And there goes Ascan into another exploratory mission. Fan-freaking-tastic. We are now getting into the part of the playthrough that I really like. The part where we just have rockets going off like crazy, where we have crazy contraptions like this one working for us in the background, providing us with a bunch of beautiful things. Alright, my friends, so let's see the Radbolt automation in progress. Let's go like this, let's collect everything. So I have set up this thing so that it's only inputting a green signal when it's nighttime, so that, once again, there is no dupes inside of this thing, right? Let's cancel all of those over there. So this sends a green signal, and oh, slow down, cowboy. There we go, sending a bunch of Radbolts. And beautiful. Now we are going to waste a bunch of Radbolts doing things this way, because once the first Radbolt connects to this one, the others are still in transit, right? Yeah, you see. Wow. Okay, I did not know they could do this. Go through. Yeah, this is very dangerous. We have to exchange this pneumatic door for a mechanic door, because I kind of want something to collide with the Radbolts. We don't want them traveling through here, where dupes could be. That would be terrible. Okay, so we are going to do things a little bit different. We are going to be moving the system from here into this one. This one is the one that is going to request the Radbolts. Everything is going to work the same, the NOT gate, blah blah blah. The Radbolt sensor, on the other hand, is going to stay in here. The second the Radbolt moves from this one into this one, that should shut off the system, giving enough time for all the Radbolts that are on transit to be absorbed by the diamond press over here. Alright, my friends, so let's see. Let's test the new system. I think this one is going to work out much better. But once again, we must test it out. There is plenty of Radbolts over here that have been absorbed to do this refillment, so let's see. Here we go. Radbolts being launched, and well, we'll have to wait a little bit, won't we? This one should be the first being filled up, meaning that the signal is now off. The Radbolt should travel, which means the entire thing should cut off the Radbolt sending thingy, and this one emitted its final Radbolt. Let's see, will this absorb everything? And nope. Well, I mean, it absorbs more Radbolts than before, but still. Oh, and by the way, I think we have enough thingy. Let's start absorbing. The way we see if we have enough is just we come over here and we check if there is any droplets of water being absorbed. I don't think that there is, as long as we have enough waste over here that is going to spill over and we are not absorbing any water, that's all that we care. Oh, one tiny little problem, I forgot the water that I had in here to do this. Like I said, this pipe no longer needed. Let's take care of this very quickly. So what we do is we deconstruct these bridges that we have laying around, and we reverse the course of the bridges so that the water goes back into the main line to be used, in this case, by this thing. But we probably are going to have a few destroyed pipe, but that's fine. Like, this thing is not useful for anything, so whatever. Alright, so on our exploratory mission, we can just focus on nuclear stuff today. We already found organic mass fields, something that we are probably never going to explore too much. We don't really need anything from here. We probably are just going to be moving on, but still, you know, another good find, I suppose. Yeah, this is why I cannot move my eyes for a moment. As you could see, like I just deviated my attention for a moment, and all the nuclear waste was taken, and it broke the pipes in 3 different places. Less than ideal. Alright, my friends, so now that we have sufficient diamond production, I think we can celebrate and send a mining mission somewhere into space. So we could either go and grab ourselves some more fluorine and gold, or we can go copper and sedimentary rock, which is something I'm far more inclined to do, because we need some copper to start laying down a bunch of rails all over the place, and yeah, I kind of want to go grab it. So yeah, let's change the crew. I don't think... oh, it is. Let's set a round trip. Then let's change the crew to not Rivaldo, but Turner. Here we go. So please, Turner, go into the cabin and launch this rocket, please. Well, my friends, I think we can confirm this is how you quote-unquote activate this bug. This rover is in shutdown mode, and no juice in the battery, and it's still going. Oh well, I think, I mean, I'm sure Clay eventually is going to fix this, but if you ever wanted to have a permanent robotic friend in your base, now you know how to pull this off. Oh, by the way, let's just do a quick experiment. I'm going to save the game and load the game to see if that is going to quote-unquote kill our rover friends. I mean, it's... I'm the one losing in here, but still, I kind of want to see if they are permanent or not. Alright, moment of truth. Oh no, they die. They die once you load the game. Oh well. It was good for a while. Well, my friends, a little bit of time. I am down to 30 rad volts per shot, but we are pretty much just wasting like barely anything, so pretty cool. And because we are automating all of this, I don't know why I'm pausing the game. Because we are automating all of this, including rad volt production and collection and whatnot, I am producing roughly enough rad volts to produce 400 kilograms of diamond per day. At the end of the day, the rad volt collection stops for a little while, but just that little while of time that it stops, just take a look at this. Look at all of these batteries completely filled up. Yep, we are still consuming a little bit of fuel, obviously, especially during the day when we are collecting all of those rad volts, but the cool thing is that we are now generating power going into our batteries, our jumbo batteries, I mean, that we would be wasting otherwise. So pretty cool. Look at this, we have a bunch of fuel going around. That is also going to help out our power situation over the long run. Oh, my friends, we have found something. We have... Oh, beautiful. We found the ice planet, which is just fantastic. Once we need a billion zillion iron, now we know where to go grab it. Pretty cool. Oh, finally, my friends. I was about to say, Jesus, this thing never goes off, but no. No, what it says over there, idling. Yep, that's right. This volcano is idling, which means it should start erupting anytime soon. Oh, Jesus, finally. Oh, for a moment I thought, really, 2 episodes where this thing is not running. Okay, okay. Now, my friends, I will have to keep an eye on this one, because like I said, we kinda can only activate everything once there is a little bit of steam inside of the chamber. So, some attention is going to be required. So, I thought about it a little bit, I'm getting paranoid and I'm just going to vacuum this place out. It's probably for the best. I'm making this out of steel, just in case we want to vacuum this out in the future. It's already here, so why not? And yeah, we still have a little bit of time before we have steam in here, because this mass of water is at 40 degrees, so we have plenty of time to build this. However, we don't have plenty of time to stay in here, because our storage... it's pretty much empty. Yeah, we need to go, like, tomorrow, so, yeah, please, dupes, build this, very quickly. Okay, so here we go. We are now vacuuming this thing out, which means we can start thinking about sending our dupes back home. I need the dupes to be here just to build, like, how should I put it? Let's go into the pipe mode. In order for me to build and cut and do things around here, I need a dupe. Right, otherwise the game is not going to let me do things like this, for example, which means... yeah, we have to send the dupes right now and probably send them back even before the end of the episode, so yeah, let's call in the crew, change the destination back into the planet. Okay, everybody is in here, so let's acknowledge the warnings and send the rocket. Now, my friends, on the home improvement front, given that we have so much natural gas, we can spare a little bit to use over here in our gas range. We have so many, when I mean so many, it's like, look at this. We have over 1,000 sleet wheat grains, it's like ridiculous. We could start making a little bit of pepper bread if we add the pinches. These things... could you please give me the plant? Thank you. They really like heat, which is not good, given that our colony is quite cold. So, yeah, where could I grow such a thing? I mean, I can build something like temporary over here. When I mean temporary, I mean permanent, because I'm never going to go through the effort of building something proper for this, especially for something that is just for a treat for our dupes, shall we say. In any case, in here we have a decent temperature, plus this water is pretty toasty, so I don't think we are going to run into too many issues. Oh, there is, unless I don't have the height. I thought these plants were 2 tiles and not 3 tiles. Okay, okay, okay. Scratch this. Alright, my friends, so with some copper on its way, I think it is time for us to start automating item delivery as much as we can, especially from our forge area over here, or in this case our industrial area. Getting these inputs, or in this case these finished items, would be really nice, getting them into our storage automatically so that we can start doing things like requesting the stuff to be delivered automatically to the nuclear reactor. What we need is one line for... these lines are already built, I just need to see which ones lead to where. Okay, the line over here, this one is for the uranium ore. So let's go over here, request uranium ore, and this one we need to go into consumable ores and request refined carbon. Pretty cool, but first we need to deliver the refined carbon over here as well. That's why I'm building this ginormous line and these conveyor loaders over here. Alright, so here we go. We have now refined carbon being sent, or maybe not. Okay, this is dumb. This was dumb on my part. Oh, our mining rocket came back and I didn't even see what we got, but we got a little bit of copper ore, that's always nice, and some materials, but the most important part is the artifact, which is just a measly office mug, but well, we'll analyze it anyway. Okay, something really strange is happening. Our wires are quote-unquote getting melted, but at the same time not really, because there is no, like, no drop of gold in this case. There is no gold in there. Like, how in God's name is this happening? I really have no idea. Oh well, let's use some tungsten. I'm assuming they are melting. Assuming, however, that's, like, difficult given the temperatures that we are getting over here. I don't know. I find this to be very strange. Well, this is very silly, but at the same time, we have a volcano on our path, so, oh well, we'll have to pretend that this is not here, okay guys? Wow, look at that, we are producing almost 20 kilowatts of power, and from time to time we are producing 20 kilowatts of power because we are getting overloading damage. In our... Holy Jesus, I am not ready for this event, my friends, because the way we deal with that is that we simply replace all of this line with conductive watt wire. Yeah, but I was actually going to do that once this was up and running, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time until we have this operational. There is still a little bit of oxygen in here, really? So yeah, once we got all of these refined metals just coming into our colony, steadily and at a steady pace, we'll be able to do that. But until then, we don't really have enough refined stuff to do that, so we'll have just to repair the overloaded stuff and hope that we don't overload anything too critical to the point that we can't repair it. Well, my friends, I have to be honest, when you record an episode in several days, sometimes you just have a feeling when you come back, I was supposed to be monitoring something, and I don't remember what. You're really stealing the meds from other dupes? Really, Ascan? Shaking my head. But in any case, my friends, the thing that is not going to explode is the nuclear reactor, because we have achieved complete stabilization. The reactor has been stabilized from the water front and from the fluid front as well. In fact, we should be expelling a little bit of that stuff soon, as we already have a second level of nuclear waste over here. As you can see, we already get a reading on this sensor, so we should start ejecting some of that pretty soon. I really wanted to send this rocket as soon as possible, but that's not going to be possible, my friends. We only have 2 suits in storage. I really don't know what the hell is going on with the suits. Where are my dupes leaving my suits? But I need them, my friends. Where are they? Please tell me that at least they are in base. Okay. Yeah, the dupes are just ignoring me. Typical dupes. Well, given that the dupes simply ignored me, I don't care. I want to send the dupes back into the planet, even if they are going to stay in there just a few days. The thingy over here is starting to go off. As we can see, there is a little bit of water. That means steam was formed. In fact, we can even see that. And because I can't exactly just to... I stand corrected. Okay, apparently I can do that. I this is very strange. I really thought I could not do that, but apparently I can. Oh well, that I suppose that that means I can fill up the cooling loop without needing the dupes to be here. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more day then. Okay? Please fill this thing up. Okay, there is plenty of suits. Oh, would you look at that? A beautiful steam explosion. I always love these ones, but see, just like it happened in the nuclear reactor, this chamber still needs to heat up, meaning every single piece must be above boiling temperature before we can have a stable steam production. But still, it's always nice to see this explosion happening. There are days in Oxygen Not Included where the dupes simply refuse to do what they're told, and this can be very aggravating indeed. Oh, it's because I said something, is it? Thank... finally, Jesus, let's call in the crew and let's go. Ren, get out of here. Ren, get out. You're not part of the crew. Please leave. Alright, time to get back, and I'm almost like pretty sure that this rocket should be going on next. I'm just going to give it a few more moments because I don't want this rocket landing on the platform allocated for the other one. And yeah, I'm also going to send Turner, I believe. Yep, Turner over here to the other planet so that we can bring even more uranium back to our main base. Alright, let's add another rover to the collection over here. Let's go back into the planet, request this rocket to land over here, and then let's go back over here and request this rocket to launch. There we go. So many things happening at the same time, but it must be done. We must optimize our time usage, especially when it comes to the rockets. If they are not flying, we are not making any money, and we don't like... well, money. We are not making any profit when it comes to materials, and yeah, we kind of want to make profit. Now I'll try to avoid glitching out this rover, but oh well. At least we know that if we save and load the game, the rover goes away. In any case, my friends, now that the steam, all the water has been converted into steam, we can now use the aluminum over here that we have at 200 degrees to heat up this steam by simply coming over here, select all, and now the cooling loop should start quote-unquote working, and that means that it will expel anything below 150 degrees. Let's set this bar lower for now until we have the steam turbines going. Until then we can just have this temperature this lower. So yeah, the steam now should start to increase its temperature, and the aluminum should start being cooled off and sent into our storage over here, which means I can now stop delivering granite because I have something far more useful to bring. Let's stop that, and let's select the refined metal category, if I can find it, that is. Well, my friends, like I said, if the rockets are on the ground, they are not making us any money. I keep saying money when I meant to say other things, like materials. In any case, we have close to 10 tons of diamond, which means we can start running this thing quite regularly, which I mean, we can even build another one. But for now, let's change our mission. And can I go round trip to this one? Yes, I can. Now, but before I go... I want to set up my liquid cargo tank to 0. Reason for that is we have liquid chlorine over there, and as you might imagine, I don't want to bring that back with me, so I just want uranium ore, and that's precisely what we are going to get. 20 tiles, a return trip, pretty cool. We have enough fuel, everything is set up. We have the foods and everything, right? You have the plastic to make this and the oxalite to breathe. Okay, okay, time to leave. And you know what, my friends, this episode might be almost over, but how about I come over here and I build myself another mining rocket. Whenever I have a chance to hire more rocketeer dupes, where is the freaking large thingy? Is over here. Once I have the opportunity to hire more rocketeer dupes, I'm definitely going to do that because I kinda want to get, in this case, a large one just for mining solids, one view, and even maybe a gas cargo canister if I can fit it. For oxygen to make life easier on myself. Yes, I can. I think I can. No, I cannot. Okay. And here is the new configuration for a mining rocket that we are going to use, just for a solid stuff. I mean, it's not like we have a lot of room for a lot of cargo thingies. I could let go of the battery and artifact module to get either a liquid or gas. However, bringing artifacts is always a good idea, and this way I can keep the battery outside of the cockpit, which is one of the main things that create a bunch of heat inside of the cockpit. I mean, we can change the rocket in the future, there is nothing stopping us from doing that. So I suppose that the SS Rocket 4 is going to see a lot of mining action in the future. I just need to, you know, do the typical interior cockpit and whatnot, finish building this, get a bunch of rocketeer dupes, and well, we'll be able to run this thing almost full stop because we are producing a bunch of diamond every day. I'm pretty sure we are producing more diamond than we are using. But in any case, my friends, this cycle is almost over, which means this episode is also coming to an end. And today we got a lot done. Not only have we stripped a bunch of uranium from the uranium biome, we got this chamber finally rolling. It's been a while, and I've been waiting. But most importantly, we came over here to get uranium in order to get this thing operational, my friends. Yes, finally our nuclear reactor is finally online, producing us a bunch of red bolts, diamond, and power. And in the future it's going to power up our red rockets. Yep, we really need a bunch of rocketeer dupes to pilot our ginormous fleet that we are going to get. But we are exhausting some nuclear waste, as we can see. It simply disappears. But in any case, my friends, and as I was about to say, those things are something for future me to do. Because, well, with all of that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye.